Hello.
Good afternoon. Okay, so we've had another load of questions come in. So where do we start? Let's kick off with Claire Wood. Thank you, Claire. She asks, because we make such great entertainment, can't we have our own Friday night show?
Don't see why not.
Yeah, if we get enough questions, we'll keep giving you the answers.
They've cut down on the number of episodes of Corrie and Emmerdale and stuff at the minute, haven't they? So they need something to fill. They need something to fill the time with.
Yes, you send me the questions, we'll answer them.
We can do it here. We can do it sat here.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. So yes, Claire, we would do a one night of the week show just for you and everyone else out there. So then we've got Sarah Parks. What invisible thing would you like to see? Well,
I think the most obvious one for that at the moment is it'd be good to be able to see coronavirus really in the air or on a surface, shining like a bright yellow, like luminous type thing. That'd be quite good.
Pretty good, yes. Of course, we do a decontamination service if you would require it for your business.
What was it you said as well?
Oh, farts.
Farts.
Yeah, if you could see farts, that would stop people farting, wouldn't it? Because I hate farters. For Christ's sake, do it somewhere else. Don't do it near me.
I've got one brewing.
Well, I might be able to see it now. Sarah gets a wish. But yeah, so farts for me, coronavirus for Mark.
I think mine's more important, really.
I don't know, mate. I've been in the trouble a few times with people. Then we've got, well, there's one from Sam Dainter there, but
another one from Sarah.
A few. Oh, yes, okay. Oh, thanks for pointing that one out, Mark. Sarah Parks also asks, cheers Sarah, Chris, tell everyone what your talent was on Take Me Out. Well, I didn't have a talent, to be honest with you, other than catching pests and things like that. Mine was kind of one of the shortest ever appearances on Take Me Out. If you would find it on YouTube or anywhere like that, I think you have to pay for mine.
I don't think you can find it anywhere, because occasionally I'd like to have a laugh and watch it, but I can't find it anywhere.
I've got a copy under lock and key. But yes, I didn't have a talent, I'm afraid. I couldn't do kicking.
You still haven't?
No talents. But we can answer questions, which is always good. So I had no talent on Take Me Out. Thank you, Sarah, for pointing that out. Okay, and then we've got a question from Arena Combat Archery. A great day out for the kids when we're allowed back out again.
Great place to go, yeah.
Which do you prefer, Chorlton and the Wheelies or Jamie and his magic torch?
Well, both of these are way before my time, because I'm not an old timer like this one.
So he says. Well, I remember them both. And I remember Jamie and his magic torch because I used to run home all the way from school every dinner time, all on my lonesome lonesome at the age of about 6, because you could back then. And I used to love Jamie and the magic torch. Jamie and the magic torch.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't remember
You haven't got any talent, you're right.
And as for Chorlton and the Wheelies, it was terrifying. There was a horrible witch character in there, and that used to freak me out. So definitely Jamie and his magic torch on that one. We got a question then from Ellen Milne. What's my favourite Lego I've built?
Well, my that's mainly down to me, that question, isn't it? Because I said about the Lego the other day. It's all I'm doing really at the moment, is building things out of Lego. It always tends just to be a house usually. But I did make a very cool Mario and Luigi the other day, which I followed from the internet. Put it on the windowsill and then shut the curtains and smash Luigi to bits. Poor Luigi. And I also ran out of skin-coloured bricks after doing Mario, so Luigi's actually yellow. It still looks good though. There you go.
Next question is from Ali Farr. Take That or E17? I'm wondering why there's no Boyzone on there, to be honest.
Or Westlife.
Or Westlife. Yeah, I'd go with Boyzone every time.
But Take That, you know, Gary Barlow is a good songwriter, you can't really deny that. And E17 just always makes me remember Brian Harvey running over his own face or something whilst trying to reach for his jacket potato or something like that.
Was it a jacket potato or a donut?
No, it was a jacket potato. I think he dropped it and then ran over himself trying to get it. That's one thing.
But I personally hate E17. Number one, how lazy are you to pick your name by your postcode where you live? I mean, come on.
DY8 doesn't have quite the same ring.
DY8. So Take That for me as well. And that bloody Christmas song that they did. It's not even a Christmas song. Just because they got some bells in the background doesn't make it a freaking Christmas song, does it?
Oh, calm down.
Sorry, I just don't like them. I just don't like them. I wish he'd have done a better job of running himself over.
Sam Dainter's asked about 7, 8 or 8 questions.
Oh yes, Sam Dainter's obviously got quite a lot of time on his hands. Have you ever experienced anything paranormal or unexplained?
I didn't personally. I think my dad saw the ghost of Lewis Carroll in a hotel in Llandudno once. Apparently it's the hotel where Lewis Carroll wrote Alice in Wonderland. And he swears blind he saw Lewis Carroll at the top of the stairs, and then he turned around and he was gone. So, don't know.
There was no drugs involved.
What, my dad or?
Well, we know with Alice Lewis, he was...
Alice Lewis.
What's his name?
Alice Lewis Carroll.
Lewis Carroll, that's it. Who's Alice Lewis?
Well, you just mixed up Lewis Carroll with Alice in Wonderland and you created a new thing.
Right. But he was famously off his tits, let's face it. Going down that rabbit hole, like a lot of people are at the moment. So then who have we got next? That was Sam's. Oh, and some more from Sam. Okay. What song blew you away when you first heard it, Mark?
It's got to be probably Stay Away to Heaven for me. When I was pretty late teens, that was the first time I heard it. Stay Away to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. But I did smoke a bit of weed back in those days, so I was probably quite stoned. And anything would have probably sounded amazing at that point. But yeah, I do remember I was like, wow, what is this?
Mine is a song by a guy called Alan Jackson, one of the country and western greats, still going to this day. Don't pull that face, Mark. It's not like country and western.
Country and western.
I love a bit of country and western. Yeah. He did a song called Where Were You? All about 9/11. And he actually wrote it while he was waiting to go on the Country Music Awards. And he sang it live there and then. And it's one of the most fantastic songs ever. Put goosebumps on you, it will. So that's my favourite song, Alan Jackson.
Get on Spotify right now. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't know what Spotify is.
I like it. Another one from Sam. What technology should be more advanced by now?
I said the metal teapots that you get in like cafes and B&Bs and stuff, the ones that just leak no matter how carefully you try and pour it. What's that all about?
And why do they all use them, dude? Why?
What's wrong with a nice ceramic teapot with a tea cosy on it?
Spout.
Yeah.
No, just... Yes, I agree with you on that one. For me, it would be fuel. You know, I mean, we've had the technology around for 20, 30, 50 years, I don't know how long, to make fuel out of hydrogen, which basically just means putting some electrodes through some water, and then you get hydrogen coming off it and oxygen. You burn them, and then you get water vapour coming out your exhaust. I mean, come on, let's stop giving the Saudis all the money, and the Americans, and whoever else, the Russians. Let's just do it, man. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. So that's my point on that one.
God.
I'm still annoyed more by the teapots, though, to be honest with you. What's the weirdest town you've ever been to?
I struggled to think of one really, but I did kind of think of the only time I've ever been to Cambridge, and it's like you're driving towards it, normal, and as soon as you get into Cambridge, like literally everyone's on bikes. Like all of a sudden everyone's just riding a bike. What's that all about? Why Cambridge?
There's a really good spearmint rhino there, though. Yeah, so I've been told.
Are they on bikes in that as well?
Probably, yeah. Yeah. They look like they've been on a few bikes anyway. My weirdest place I've ever been to was a place called Kayako, I think it's pronounced, in Turkey. Can't remember who I went there with, but it was back in the day before we had the old phone cameras, and I used to always take on holiday the disposable little cameras. And this place is like a ghost town. I can't remember why everyone deserted the place. But I was walking around it and I came across this weird brick dome kind of a building with a little tiny window in the side. And being the inquisitive person that I am, I thought, I wonder what's in there. So I took my camera, put my hand through the little hole, took a photo, went home, and then back in the good old days when you used to have to wait for your photos to come back off the developers, 2 weeks later it came back and my hand must have been probably that far away from thousands of human skulls. Which was a bit freaky really, so that's one of the weirdest places I've ever been to.
It was definitely freaky, right?
It was a bit freaky. If all 50 states of the USA declared war, who would win?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I would say 100% it would be Texas. Is that a state?
Yes.
Texas too, isn't it?
Texas.
Well, they've all got 10-gallon hats and guns, 6-shooters.
Well, they've all got guns in America.
Yeah, but they're crazy, them people. That's the home of country and western, dude. That's why I like country and western.
Well, in this country, people have been panic buying toilet rolls and stuff, and in America, they're panic buying guns, aren't they?
Exactly.
Queuing around the block.
But I bet not in Texas, because they've already got their guns.
They've already got guns.
They've already gunned up, mate. So, gunned up. Weirdest thing you've ever seen a neighbour do?
Oh, yeah. I struggle to think of this. But I remember, it's not so much that the weird thing that they did, but a weird situation with an old neighbour. Where I used to live in my family home. Yeah, I was a kid, and the old man next door thought, for some reason, my name was called Brian. He used to call me Brian all the time. I don't know why. And he used to like have little gifts for me. He used to hand me over the fence, which looking back was really strange. Yeah, a bit weird. So I always used to answer to Brian because I know I was going to get a present from him, like some sweets or whatever. And then we found out, after speaking to mum and dad years later, that my name wasn't actually Brian, and he was really, really annoyed about it, and he hated me from then on in. And I never got another present again, unfortunately.
But might have been a good thing, really. My neighbours there. Oh, my neighbour. Where would I even start? We're talking about a woman that shouts at pigeons. If there's a pigeon lands on a roof, she shouts at the pigeons, no matter what time of the day or night it is. Well, not that they fly at night, obviously. Yes, that's one of the strange things she does, goes mad at wood pigeons. And one day I actually caught her trying to wind my dogs up. We've got quite a long garden with a long fence, and I was happening to just be sat out on the decking, drinking a cup of coffee, and I heard her come out. And I wondered what I'd been winding up my dogs for the previous week, every morning. And she basically got like a cat's toy, one of those long poles, like wobbly poles with a bell on the end of it, and she was going up and down the fence rattling this thing, going, yeah, dirty dogs, dirty dogs, dirty dogs, like this. So what I did is I crept along the fence and I waited for her to get all the way to the end, and I waited for her to come all the way back down the fence, and there's a little hole in the fence, and as she came to that hole in the fence, I just went rah, 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 rah. She nearly had a heart attack. Not quite though, not quite. Surely she can't be here for much longer, dude. 15 years I've lived next door to that. So that's my weird neighbour and Mark's weird neighbour. What movie traumatised you as a child? I know exactly what traumatised me. The bloody child catcher, man. He was terrifying, wasn't he?
I don't know. I've not seen that. I don't.
You're joking me?
No, I don't think I've seen that.
I would put it if it was a list of scariest horror movies, I would put that children's programme on there.
Yeah, but you don't like horror movies, do you?
I hate horror movies. I hate them. So the child catcher, and also the Wizard of Oz for me. Those flying monkeys. Flying monkeys? You can't get anything worse than a flying monkey. But I also think that's where I got my kick for shiny red heels as well. So not that I wear them, but I do love a girl in a pair of nice red heels, especially if they click them together, which is weird. Quite strange. I am weird.
It was not a movie. It was on TV. It was like a special, like a movie like special many years ago when I was a kid, and it's called Ghost Watch. I don't know if anybody will remember it. It was Michael Parkinson and Craig Child. It was like a real life thing where they're investigating ghosts in this apparently haunted house. But it turns out it was all set up because weird, crazy stuff started to happen. Paranormal, poltergeist things, smashing stuff up, and like I swore it was real. Everyone who was watching it, I think that's the point of it, thought it was real, and it freaked me out massively. And I feel like it was banned for years as well because it really messed with people's heads. So you might be able to find it on the internet if you look hard enough. It's definitely worth a watch anyway. I'm still traumatised by it now. The ghost, it was called Pipes. That was his name, Pipes.
Pipes?
Yeah.
Strange, I never heard that.
No, I remember that.
And the last question is, what's the most useless information you know?
Right. So, the most useless info I know. Somehow I seem to remember pointless stuff. But I remember all the lyrics for Deep, Deep Trouble, which was a single by Bart Simpson back in about 25 years ago off the Simpsons album they did. Don't ask me to do it, but yeah, I don't know why I can remember that.
You know, your question should be to Mark in the future. And what are all the words? No, I wouldn't put him through that. Useless information. I've got a brain full of the stuff. One that always staggers me is There's more molecules of water inside a pint glass than there are pint glasses of water on the planet. Just let that one sink in.
Mind blown.
That is mind blown, eh? Eh? And that wasn't actually the last question, it was the penultimate one, because there's one more. What will people remember the 2010s for mostly?
I thought probably social media, the rise of social media throughout that decade. Started off relatively small back in the days of MySpace and all that. And then Facebook, yeah, remember MySpace? And then obviously Facebook took over and it's just gone mentals in the last 10 years, isn't it? Probably split up quite a lot of relationships, social media has. Probably caused a lot more problems than it's done good, to be honest.
You know, another thing that happened in the 2010s.
What's that?
Probably did the same kind of thing to relationships. Pornhub launched in the UK.
Pornhub, right.
Yeah, so that was the start of Pornhub. Probably ruined quite a lot of relationships, I would think.
Well, it made it better then.
Well, yeah. You got to have something you can watch. I hate Coronation Street and things like that. So
Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7:30, you watch Pornhub, do you? Instead of Coronation?
Absolutely, absolutely. No, it's all banned on in my house.
Other porn sites are available, by the way.
Of course.
So we're not advertising for Pornhub or anything.
So that's it for today's little episode. It'll probably be we're heading towards the weekend now. I think is it Friday today?
It is Friday. No, it's Thursday.
Oh, we might do another one tomorrow. But if you can put another load of questions into us, we will try our darndest to answer them as well or stupidly as we can. You know what to do. Put your comments underneath, and we'll keep checking in on them.
Or visit us on YouTube.
Oh yes, have a look on our YouTube channel.